we have built it from the ground up to be as entertaining as possible.
What sort of margins do you make on that? And more importantly, if you got to 5 mil, what would the margins be? Because I presume it's going to be quite scalable.
But also a subscription to the game to get you added benefits, because it's all about establishing recurring revenue.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Picture Investment Online. This is Othership's monthly pitch event where we're going to put 5 of our founders in front of our wonderful panel of investors. And now over to a pitch that I'm really excited for, both as a petrol head and a gamer and a techie. We're going to go to Sam from Nova Rally, who's going to be pitching a new blockchain-based racing game.
I'm going to start with, can you confirm you can see a video in front?
I can.
Yep, so I'm going to start with just a little clip of Nova Rally is a racing strategy game with aspirations to become an entertainment platform. So I'm going to play a quick clip of what we've built and then talk about the business and the business model and why I'm doing this. So there we are, starting off into a 3D race which players will watch. I kind of think of this as Formula One with rocket launchers. I'm a casual Formula One fan, but even I get bored on a race on Sunday. So looking to replicate an experience over a shorter period of time with more explosions, basically. Okie doke. So let me come into my pitch. So as I said, it's a racing strategy game designed with mass appeal in mind. So appealing to everyone, not just your average gamer. Who am I? I've got a background in integration, architecture, and innovation, not gaming, but I'm also an entertainer. I'm a Twitch partner, streamer. I'm a blockchain guy. This is a game powered by blockchain, but I don't want that to be the focus. I'm currently responsible so far for raising over $1 million in primary sales. My game has done $1.9 million on secondary market in the past year. But there's no good game to introduce people to the power of NFTs. So I thought something with mass appeal, excitement, and also community spirit in mind. So those are the problems that I see. The solution, I've got sort of 5 principles. It needs to be very simple. You need to be able to start playing in around 2 clicks, if possible. You need to grab people's attention. This is exciting, it's vibrant. People like to play these games to make money, so you need to properly model that economy. You need to be in touch with the community, and it needs to be able to scale massive, because these things, when they take off, they go fast, like a very fast car. So how does the game work? It's very simple. You pick 2 drivers. It's a rally car. You put them inside the car and you race against 7 other players. You don't drive the car. You take the keys, put them on the ground. You watch the race, and you can fully customize these cars with your own cosmetics. And the goal is to eventually branch into an entertainment platform that's very similar to Formula One, in which you own shares in a racing team and you compete against other racing teams and watch it live, broadcast online. And the difference is here is you don't need to a bunch of to worry about setting up your crypto wallet, blah, 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 blah. You just buy game items with your credit card, and all of the rest happens in the background. You don't even know it. Where are we right now? It is text-based right now, with over 130,000 races completed. Next week, we go live with our first iteration of the 3D race replays. Hopefully through that, we are going to attract a new audience, and we can grow through people sharing cool things that happen in the race. And then within 2 years, I want to really hone in on this racing league live, because I think it's got more potential than just a game. I think, honestly, this could be a real entertainment experience. How does it differ? What have we done? Well, we built this race system from the ground up to be entertaining. Dynamic cameras, artificial intelligence. We want to put on a show. It's almost like wrestling, to be fair. We want to put on a show. We want to entertain people. We've done a lot of work on the cameras, the crashes, the characters. It's designed to be exciting, but we've also partnered with a economy simulation tool to make sure that, because of these assets do have monetary value, how do you build a sustainable economy? So everything that we do is simulated thousands of times with this tool called Machinations. I'm just going to skip to where are we just now? Well, we've done over $500,000 in primary sales. and 1.9 million on the secondary market. We've got around 850 players playing what is a text-based game. Most of our users come from the US. We are right now a top 100 blockchain game, and we've done pretty well so far with a minimal viable product. Compared to our competitors, there are people doing a similar thing, but what I find is they race in a straight line across the screen. It's not really engaging. And this is built from the ground up to be entertainment first, and also vibrant. I find that a lot of these games, they all look like midnight racing. They all have very dark. I hate the darkness. I love vibrant colors. So how is our business model set up? Well, we sell the cars, the drivers that you need to play. We can also sell cosmetics. You can fully customize your car right down to the color of the car seats if you really want to. And everything that is traded on secondary market, everything in the game is an NFT. It is a game item that you can freely trade with anyone, and we take 8% of that transaction on the secondary market. And we built this engine to have banners, integrated billboards with we built this engine over the past year with our business model in mind. So it's got integrated advertising, there's billboards, and that's going to help us bring in an extra advertising revenue when people are watching all of these races. Again, the long-term goal to take it beyond just a simple game is to get to that sort of esport level where you're watching 8 different teams, for example, make moves every week, which people they want to drive the car, which cars they want to drive, and make it like a mini Formula One online that people can tune in on a weekday or a weeknight and enjoy a real special racing experience, but with more excitement, because Formula One, last time I checked, it doesn't have rocket launch. We're targeting that 25 to 35 age bracket, disposable income, and that's where most of our users sit at the moment. Most of them, as I said, sit in the US, but also I feel like there's a section of people, enthusiasts, people that do watch these racing. People watch diecast racing. They watch a plastic car roll down a hill. 2.4 million video views in the past 30 days for that, watching a car roll down a hill. So I feel like there's great potential for us to pitch this to anyone. You don't necessarily need to be interested in blockchain. Who cares if it's blockchain? I don't. It just works best for the way that the assets are. So we can pitch to traditional gamers, we can pitch to racing enthusiasts, we can pitch to anyone. But we're targeting that 25 to 35 age range, and because we've had the most success with it so far. We're looking to raise $200,000 at 20% of the business. So we're valuing the business at $1 million. And we're looking by 2025 to make $5.5 million. We have already made 500,000, but crypto and NFT games are in a decline, but we've marketed purely to crypto audience so far. We haven't marketed to that much bigger piece of the pie. And now with our 3D engine, starting from next week, I'm hoping to start to do that and get that data on what's working and what's not. I'm a traditional consultant working in integration. We've got a technical team in terms of big company writing all the smart contracts to make sure everything executes on the blockchain seamlessly, but also all of our game engine is made by a company called Reality Boffins in the UK with over 20 years of experience. So we've got a great enthusiastic team, a lot of passion, and our job is to entertain as many people as possible, with the side benefit of every single thing in our game you can freely trade and you can actually make money off of it. So that's it. Thank you very much for listening, and I'd love to take any questions.
So, if I'm honest, I don't really understand. However, I got my 15-year-old son to have a look at this deck, and he thought it was pretty cool. And I really liked your pitch. and if you pitched me down at the pub and I had half a dozen beers, I reckon I'd probably invest. So, questions. And I know from my son, my 15-year-old son, who has my credit card and Steam and whatever, that they do spend money on this stupid stuff. So questions. Okay, just one question. So the revenue, what are the unit economics look like on the revenue? Like what would you, if you were turning over, or the 500K that you've turned over, what sort of margins do you make on that? And more importantly, if you got to 5 mil, what would the margins be? Because I presume it's going to be quite scalable.
So the problem right now is that 500,000 was upfront to build this. And as you said before, we don't want that. We want this income coming in every month. So we're going to be doing cosmetic sales every month, but also a subscription to the game to get you added benefits, because it's all about establishing recurring revenue. We can no longer keep going in $250,000 here, $250,000 here. And now the market's dried up a bit with purely crypto people, and it's five here, 10 here, 15 here. So it's more about, right, we've built this onboarding experience with a credit card, and that's new. So we launched that at the end of November, and it becomes, right, if I do talk to you in a pub, I can get you to sign up and play in less than 10 minutes. It should be 2 minutes, and you're there, you've bought everything you need to play the game. So that will give us a lot better reflection on what we can make per month. Right now, all we're getting at the moment is the secondary market fee that comes in. So we're not actively selling NFTs. So we're making probably around $1,500 a month on secondary sales, but no one's selling anything, right? So like, well, but at the start, we were making, $10,000 a day in secondary market revenue. So the model works, but right now we're in a lull, but we've been spending that lull building, and, we launch next week with our first version. And then at the end of November, we've solved the problem. It's impossible to get people to play. It used to take me 40 minutes. I have to sit with someone on a call. Ooh, get this wallet, or you're not on this exchange. No, I'm not interested in all that. Just hand me your phone and I'll go to this, and then that. It's easy. And then if they like it, they can get the subscription, they can get more out of the game. So really, it is in its infancy, but we've proved on a small scale that it works and that there's interest. But we need to get to that next level, and the investment is to extend the game, to make the game more in depth, but also to really have a good go at this mass marketing, because everyone I show this to says, at least they say it looks cool. That's enough for me. It does look cool. Now, whether it's cool enough for them to consistently play, I don't know, but I think it's got a lot of potential. It gets people's attention.
It does. No, you got SEIS?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So this could go in my crazy punt fund, perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like a crazy punt.
Yeah, me too. I'll hand over to the other guys. Cheers.
Like when I was young, I used to play Super Mario Kart and Super Mario before that and all of that. And my parents thought it was crazy. And I always wonder, what will I think is crazy for my kids? So I just remind myself, keep an open mind. If I think it's silly or whatever, it's their culture. I should not, I should... like it's something that it's out of my head, or I don't understand. We need to try to understand it and stay on top of things. So anyways, rant over. So interesting. My question is more on like how will it work, in the sense that who's racing? Is it like you mentioned, you can buy cars, you can buy the outfits, you can buy design and customize. Do you then race the car, or like own the car that's going to race? Do you run multiple races? Like, how does that work in that sense?
So you own the car, you own the characters inside the car, you put them into a queue, and the next race will be run, and you'll be able to watch it. You don't drive the car. Of course, we don't have the budget to compete with AAA racing games.
No, that's not the point. Yeah. It's more of watching it crash and burn.
Yeah. And that's those are called instant races. So we're adding more strategy as we go along there, but then eventually to get it to a bigger level, this idea of a live streamed racing league that maybe even people gamble on.
That was my next point. Have you thought of betting and gambling, and how will that kind of work?
So basically, by building it on the blockchain and spending a long time building our racing algorithm, we can show that it's provably fair, and we can open up to someone else offering betting on the game. And I think when that racing league's in place, there's 8 teams. Imagine you own shares of Mercedes and you can make decisions. Could be quite exciting, but also for people watching, let's be honest, people, they love to gamble. That's what's grown esports the way it has. I gamble a lot on esports. I gamble more on esports than I do regular sports these days because it's easier to make money. So it could be a huge growth potential, but in the short term, I don't want all that spotlight of the gambling regulations on me. I want to build out the experience, get all the people playing, and establish this racing league and make it something worth watching. And then to get it to explode, that's when the gambling comes in. Because when there's money on the line, people came up.
Does a car get better? Driver gets, or like, can a car start in a certain level and then get better over time, and to help with the secondary market, so that, you know, you build up a car, it becomes better, and then you sell it at a higher value? Like, is that something that's baked in?
Yes, so you can promote things through the league so that you earn raw rewards. So the better you are at the game, the better combinations you're choosing, the better strategy, you can get stuff promoted faster, and you can sell it on to other people looking to get into the game and start earning rewards.
I can see a UFC type system in place also. Multiple challenges, promoters taking someone for the championship, and then you're part of the champion. I don't know, like, it's interesting. It's fun. It's interesting. Okay. And final question on the business model. Can you just walk me through, like, again, I may have missed it. How do you generate, like, you've generated money before from the secondary markets and from initial sales. What's the plan next, and what are your projections moving forward?
So the main one I want to tap into is the advertising. We've made around, on our text-based website, we've made around like $25,000 so far, with an integrated booking system where people can book the advertisements with cryptocurrency. So I want to expand that, and you go online and you pay, and then there's an approval process, and then suddenly your banner appears inside all of the 3D race replays. So advertising is the real untapped potential there, alongside these cosmetic packs that we plan to sell every month to our existing base of, we've got 850 current active users, which I'm aware it's very low. It's almost nothing. So, but I cannot see a situation where people don't see this if the onboarding experience is good and that count increases, and then that's when the advertisement comes along. If we've managed to make $25,000 with this few people, it's the types of people that play. One person spent 6 figures on secondary market for assets. Crazy, absolutely crazy. There's people that absolutely love this game. They love it more than me. I made it. So it's getting that stable advertising revenue is critical, because again, and especially if to demonstrate to investors, is that this model of just selling every couple of months or so, it's really terrible. So we need to establish, like, this is the plan to make this much. But I don't want to lie to you and say, like, oh yeah, tomorrow we're going to make $6 billion in advertising revenue. Like, we are learning as we go along, we're building it. But I think that the valuation is realistic based on what we've already managed to do in revenue, albeit it was in a crazy sky high period. But when we make it more accessible, people will come, and we will be the people, or one of the people, driving more users to these types of games, because we've solved the problem. You don't need to worry about all this wallet creation, all this crypto mumbo jumbo. Everyone hates crypto. Everyone hates NFTs. All my friends hate them. They don't even know what they are. They hate them. So we're not really going to mention that it is until they realize they've dropped something that they can sell. They made $5 and they spend $5 on an in-game item. We get some of that back.
Nice to meet you, Sam. So my first question is actually very straightforward, and is, can you walk me through the metrics? ARPU, CPI, Delma, well, day 1 to day 9 retention, to day 30, sorry.
To user, you mean user retention?
Yeah.
To be honest, we're still establishing that data. Right now, we just have the active users, or the people that own the assets. So it's one of the areas of the business is very weak that I'm working on at the moment, is I don't have that data in place. And basically, when the onboarding experience is complete, then it's about focusing and getting those dashboards to tell you. I don't necessarily know the at the moment number of people, like the churn from the game, or how often people are. That's why we're building in this automated model with machinations, but it's not finished yet. So I don't have the information to hand.
Okay, no worries. How big is the team at the moment?
I mean, I own 100% of the company. Everyone that
No,
works.
about employees.
Yeah. So there's 14 of us. But it's all independent contractors that we use as and when needed.
And is there anyone who, like, in the full-time team who has actual experience building a game?
The people who do the 3D game engine have been developing games for 20 years. So that's a company that we use called Reality Buffins. I don't have any experience in the gaming industry. Really, I'm just the face of it. I'm an entertainer, at heart. I've got good ideas, but I've not been in the game industry. But I've been in integration and SAP, but it doesn't yet. It's more about, complex enterprises, not about gaming. But so we have to rely on, our partners for that sort of experience.
And regarding the people that you're targeting, how did you come up with that profile, with that gamer or player profile?
That's just been from canvassing the people that do play our games actively. So I know them all pretty well. I host roundtables with them every week. So it's been very much like an indie game from the ground up, speaking to the community, but also doing these polls and collecting information from people to say, right, what's your age bracket, and that's who currently plays the game. Now we've got outliers, but one of our biggest players is a 65-year-old man, and he sent me a lovely message saying that he loves playing every day, and you just don't expect that. So I don't know how he managed to create a crypto wallet and all that. His son must have showed him or something, but it shows that it can appeal to outside what we've targeted. But I feel like it makes the most sense because I'm surrounding myself with like-minded people who are also playing the game, and they're in that same age bracket. They've got money, they're in a full-time job, they're bored of it, they're looking for some entertainment, and what we've got coming up is quite eye-catching.
And what's the USP? And I'll give it a bit of context. Casual gaming is obviously a super crowded market. There's a lot of good players with a lot of money there, especially with the current trends in like people are moving into casual a lot. So what makes you different? Like, there's a lot of racing games as well. Why do people want to play this game instead of others? I
think we have built it from the ground up to be as entertaining as possible. So, and we spent that was the whole point when we built the race engine. It's not to build the most realistic physics that you've ever seen. It's to build the most exciting experience. And that way that we've gone about it, and we've gone to a lot of technical lengths to achieve that. Like, under the hood, it's very complex what we've done, similar to what other people have said. Good luck trying to achieve what we've done, but we've done it in the spirit of how do we make the most entertaining race possible? And that catches people's attention. And if we've got their attention, then we've got advertising revenue. And that is the whole point. We make the whole experience engaging. We can sell the cars, but if we get people engaged, our audience is the best audience. We've got a guy spend 6 figures of secondary market assets. Don't you want a piece of him? Don't you want to be able to advertise to him? That's the goal, to go beyond a simple game. So we make it easy enough to come in and play, but we make it exciting enough for people to stay and last. And I truly believe that the unique selling point is the race engine. We've made all this money and invested it in building this. Well, I'm extremely proud of the system. So that is the main point, is we spent this time and this money developing that up.
But thank you. It was very interesting.
Thanks very much for the feedback. Really useful.
And thank you so much, everybody, for watching. This has been Picture Investment Online by Othership. If you want to find links to our other events or some of our previous videos, you can find them in the description, along with links to Othership's workspace solutions, flexible working software, events, and online community. Thank you so much for joining.